for being discreet.
So, what have you got for me?
We've come with a question.
Well, out with it.
Where should Mr. Cubs here log the incoming correspondence?
Well, Mr. Vallis, what if he entered it into the incoming correspondence logbook?
Well, it's full, isn't it, Cubs?
Already?
Unfortunately.
Oh, how about getting a new one?
We don't have the funds for a new one.
Why not? Didn't the quarterly report call for 2 logbooks?
It did, but the projected expenses were reduced by 50% across the board. So we can only afford 1 new logbook, and as I said, that one is full, isn't it, Cubs?
Here, buy a new one.
Thank you, Mr. Ross.
Good morning. Shelley,
Yes, Mr. Groff.
any idea what this is?
Well, this is a very important official memo, Mr. Groff.
Looks like a random bunch of letters to me.
At first sight, maybe, but it has strict rules of its own. It's written into Deppy.
And what?
To Deppy.
To Deppy? What's that?
It's the new official language. Our agency is phasing it in. May I go get some milk?
Why wasn't I told about this?
They probably forgot. May I go get some milk?
Whose idea was it?
Well, it's obviously part of some broader campaign. Flora said they were phasing it in at her agency as well.
Does the Deputy Director Ballas know about this?
Yes. May I go get some milk?
Go ahead. You again?
We've come to inform you that we've just purchased a new logbook. It's on Cubs' desk, isn't it, Cubs?
Terrific.
But the authentication department refuses to authenticate it.
What's their problem?
Apparently, since the new logbook wasn't purchased through the purchasing department, since it wasn't purchased through official funds, legally, it doesn't exist. Does it, Cubs?
Tell them to authenticate it on my authority. I believe I'm in a position to do that.
Wonderful. Could you give that to us in writing?
Look, while I enjoy taking the odd risk, I'm not completely crazy. You'll have to do it on my say-so.
We'll try to sweet talk them. Let's go, Cubs.
By the way, Mr. Ballas,
Yes, Mr. Gross.
do you know anything about this new language?
I heard something about it. I believe it was Mr. Cubs here that mentioned it. It was you who told me, wasn't it, Cubs?
You don't happen to know who authorized the directive to authorize its use in the agency, do you?
Authorized the directive. Cubs, do you know who authorized the directive?
It wasn't me, so it must have been you, Mr. Ballas.
One authorizes so many directives over the course of the day that it's hard to keep track of them all.
Did it not occur to you to consult with me on this matter?
We didn't want to bother you with trivialities.
Mr. Ballas, you are impossible.
It won't happen again.
Did the order come from upstairs?
Not directly.
To tell you the truth, I'm not so keen on this. Promise me you'll find an appropriate way to put a stop to it by the end of the day. We will not be guinea pigs in someone else's experiment.
I'll rescind my directive and have all the documents issued into Debbie translated back into normal language.
I sincerely appreciate that.
Good morning. We will not be guinea pigs in someone else's experiment.
My sentiments exactly.
Let's go, Cubs.
May I?
Go right ahead, Mr. Groff.
Strange relationship, those two.
I can tell you a thing or two.
I don't want to know. They're both exemplary workers, and that's all that interests me. Stroke of luck that I managed to put a stop to this thing in time. Did they actually think anyone was going to learn that gobbledygook?
Well, they've set up a special Deppy training center.
You're kidding. Is anyone actually taking the courses?
Oh, everyone, but you, Mr. Gross.
You don't say.
They made it mandatory.
Who made it mandatory?
The deputy director.
Alice? He said nothing about that. I don't understand how my staff is expected to work into Debbie when they haven't even learned it yet.
Well, that's what the translation center is for. But they say that's only a temporary arrangement until everybody learns to Deppy, and then they'll convert it into a Deppy help desk. May I go get some buns?
Well, what do you know? A translation center. Would you mind telling me where they put it?
Second floor, number 6.
But that's the accounts department.
They've moved the accounts department
ordered that as well?
Yes.
That's way out of line.
You go get some bun?
Go ahead.
Mr. Gross, you're gonna have to give us that order in writing after all.
Like hell I will.
It's in your own interest.
What do you mean it's in my own interest?
If you sign that order, it'll make the staff's work that much easier. And given the talk that's been going around, I'd say it would be a politic move on your part.
What talk?
Oh, you know, this unfortunate business about the rubber stamp.
What about it?
During the most recent performance review, it came out that you occasionally took home a rubber stamp with the company's bank account information on it for your children to play with.
That's absolute nonsense. I sometimes take my work home with me.
You don't have to explain that to us, Mr. Ross, but you know how people are.
And you're saying if I sign this thing, the matter will be dropped?
I can guarantee it.
Fine. Write me out an order introducing to Debbie and I'll sign it.
I have it right here, Mr. Gross. Thank you on behalf of the entire agency.
By the way, Mr. Ballas,
Yes, Mr. Gross?
have you put a stop to this whole to Debbie thing yet?
Not yet.
Why not?
Well, we're waiting for the right moment. Let's just say that the atmosphere upstairs isn't quite right for it right now. We wouldn't want this to come back to haunt us in any way, would we, cuz?
Excuses, excuses.
Mr. Gross, you don't believe us, and that's very hurtful.
You go behind my back. You have the accounts department moved into the basement.
That's only half the truth.
What's the other half?
Well, I've ordered proper ventilation to be installed starting next year. Isn't that right, cuz?
And what about lighting?
The assistant accountant brought candles from home.
You've got to be kidding me.
Tell him, Cub, didn't she bring candles? Cubs doesn't know about it, but you can go down and see for yourself.
All the same, you went behind my back. You created a training center, a translation center, and you made training into Debbie mandatory for everyone.
Only after office hours.
I'm not quite sure how to respond to that, but I'm sure some crushing response will present itself.
Perhaps it will, perhaps it won't. We merely believe that right now, if we show some positive initiative, it'll stand us in good stead. And who knows, we might even get the new staff cafeteria we've been requesting for so long.
That may be one way of getting a new staff cafeteria, Mr. Ballas, but the fact remains, you've gone behind my back far too many times, and so far have been doing far too many things on your own initiative.
Mr. Gross, we come to you for the smallest advice. We come to consult with you on issues like the new logbook. You are doing us an injustice, a very grave injustice.
Mr. Ballas, may I suggest something?
And what would that be?
Just for a moment, let's be completely frank with one another.
Shall we agree to this, cuz? I accept.
Why did you say that you had a critical opinion of Debbie, when in fact it's perfectly clear that your real agenda is to ensure it's introduced as swiftly as possible?
It was a ploy.
A little short-sighted, wouldn't you say?
No, I wouldn't.
You must have known I'd find out sooner or later.
We needed to play for time. Now there is nothing you can do to stop us. An overwhelming majority of the clerical staff are already solidly behind us because they know Debbie is the only thing that can put their work on a truly scientific basis. Wouldn't you agree, cuz?
But I'm the one in charge of this agency. I'm still the director here.
You can't go against the will of the majority.
I will not be dictated to by a mob.
You can call it a mob, but we call it a majority.
Call it a majority if you like, but it's still a mob. My belief of running this agency is that every employee is a human being who must become ever more human. But if you deprive that employee of his language, a language that has evolved over centuries, you deprive that employee of the very thing that makes him human, and you cast him directly into the jaws of alienation. Now, I am all for precision in office communications, but only if it directly contributes to the humanization of individual. Speaking from my most deeply held convictions, I can never consent to the introduction of Debbie into this agency.
So, you're willing to risk open conflict?
I consider the struggle for peace and for reason and morality more important than peace at any price.
What do you make this, Cub?
I suggest that we forget what has transpired here and that we part in peace before I'm forced to take this whole matter very seriously indeed.
It would appear that the time is not quite right for a substantive discussion. We overestimated him. We'll give him another, what would you say, another hour? The patience of the majority is great, but it is not infinite. He will regret this. Come on, Cubs.
Shelley,
Yes, Mr. Ross.
do you understand Debbie?
No.
Then how did you know this was an official memo?
Well, they say that initially, TDEPI is only being used to write certain official memoranda, which are now being gradually distributed to agency directors.
What are they about?
I hear they're meant to inform these directors about the results of the most recent performance reviews in their departments.
Oh, what are the results like?
Apparently, they range all the way from the very positive to the very negative.
Where did you get all this?
I heard it today in the corner store.
Damn. Where did you say that translation center was?
Second floor, number 6. You have to go through the TDEPI training center to get to